I'd like to thank you for being a part of Motorsports Monday, coming on our show and taking a moment of your time. I know you're wrenching on the car right now, so glad we could pry you away from the car for a little bit. Getting on with today's show, why don't you tell us about the history of your racing? What got you into it? What led up to where you're at now? Because a lot of people don't know much about you. Your fans don't know much about you, that haven't just started racing. You've been going for a while.
Well, I think racing started back at the fairgrounds when I was a kid, with my dad being involved in a car. You know, he had the garage, so there was always race cars there, and Saturday night, that's what we did, and I just was fascinated by it. Always wanted to do it. You know, got an opportunity to get a mini sprint, so we were able to run a little bit at Bonneville and Santana, and then, you know, life happens, things change, and then, you know, a few years later, we was able to get into a sprint car and ran a little bit of sprint car at RMR, and, you know, went to Vegas and got a little bit of taste of dirt and the street stock there, and liked the dirt, and, you know, came back and ran a little bit of Price, and been off for 11 years now, and had this old sled sitting here that I've been playing with for the last few years, you know, and here and there. Decided it was time to put it together, so we put it together and took it up to Rock Springs and running it now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how do you feel, you know, we're midway through the season. Actually, we're technically winding down the season now. We're coming up on the last few races at Sweetwater. How do you feel your season's going so far?
I think it's been an up and down. It's been a learning.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit! God damn, old man, what the hell?
One of these cars, you know, we've just had a lot of, you know, old, heavy car, you know, problems, you know. This car doesn't run like cars you see up there run now, you know. It's not going to roll over. It's not, you know. So we've been chasing a lot of gremlins. I think we got most of them figured out, you know, during this off season. You know, we doing kind of a complete rebuild on it. You know, new geometry in the front end, some work in the rear end. So we're hoping to finish the season strong. You know, we got 2 more weekends up there. So, I mean, if we can get up there and we can finish top 10 in points and, you know, get some more experience, you know. And my personal goal that I just see is I don't want to see the move over flag again. You know, I don't want the leaders catching me. You know, I want to be fast enough to be, you know, not on them, but around them. I don't want to see the move over flag. So as long as I don't see the move over flag, and I finish top 10 in points, and the car's running at the end, it'll be a great season for me. Then we'll reload and evaluate for next year.
All right. Well, as far as, you know, I guess it'd be considered a 2-part question leading in with the last question, but, you know, your last race did not end how anybody was wanting it to. Definitely not the way any driver wants it to. Can you go through what happened on your last race for those that weren't there or those that seen it and don't understand what happened? What happened on your last race?
Well, we think that part of the car's problem is just coming off a corner. I mean, it feels like a driver, I'm coming off the same way each time, but it seems like when I get a good run coming off the corner, something in the rear end binds, and it just sends the car around. I mean, no warning, no nothing, and, you know, we thought we had it figured out, and we're close. But, yeah, unfortunately, it didn't end well for us, you know, or for the 21, you know. Both of them got tore up pretty bad, you know, but it's a racing deal. I mean, that stuff's going to happen, you know. So, you know, I'll rebuild mine. Hopefully he's rebuilding his, and, you know, hopefully one day we'll be door to door
Yeah.
and battle and having fun, because they're a blast to drive. Once you drive one, you're addicted. I mean, it gets in your blood, being around them one thing, but until you climb in the driver's seat and you actually get to drive one, once you do that, you're addicted.
Oh, yeah. It's game over.
Yeah. And then it just gets worse because, then you're happy just being out there. Now you want to go a little faster. Well, in order to go faster, that costs money, So it's a vicious cycle, but we're doing all right. We're getting it figured out. I think we should probably be bringing up our best piece so far this year.
Okay.
On the 10th and 11th. So, I'm pretty confident, that we should be doing okay,
All
But,
right.
yeah.
Cool. Now you're saying you're going to be racing Sweetwater Speedway the 10th and 11th. That's your next race. What about the rest of your season? What's going to be the rest of your season as far as what track you're going to finish the season off at, or what track you're going after points at, stuff like that? How does your season look to end?
Well, the plan right now is to finish the season at Rock Springs, run all their shows, give it our all, see where we end up there points wise and experience wise, because I love running up there because the competition up there is just, some of the best drivers around this area are there. So if you can learn from them, follow them, if you want to beat the best, you got to race against the best. So that's kind of my mentality going into it is, I want to learn and I want to race against them guys because I consider them some of the best, in the Rocky Mountain region in this area. So yeah, the plan is to finish the season there, and then if the car's all right and everything checks out, we plan on doing the Clash down in Price.
Okay.
I don't know how much of it we'll be able to do. 4 races in 3 days. That's, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, then that'll end my season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is our Motorsports Monday go-to question for every driver, and I know it doesn't really count for you, but it does count for you considering you run Sport Mod. There is a crate motor rule there, but how do you feel about the cheater motor? I mean, the crate motor, 604 crate motor, the no talent motor, the I can't drive, so I got to have this bullshit crate motor.
I'm not a big fan of crate motor racing. I've seen what it's did in the past, different tracks, an asphalt track, and I'm not fond of it. I plan on running an open motor. I have an open motor in it now. I plan on building a new open motor for next year. So yeah, I personally right now have no plans of running a crate motor, but I don't know, situations change, conditions change. So to say I will never run a crate motor, I don't know if I can say that because, I just don't know the situation that I could end up in, So to my knowledge, no, I will not be running a crate motor, but circumstances out of my control may require me to have to put one in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Motors go boom, and motors cost a lot of money to fix, especially open motors.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so right now we got a good piece in it. It seems to be doing okay. The one I'm having built, I got a lot of faith in that. So, hopefully we can stay an open motor car. But, like I said, situation and circumstances, that'll dictate whether or not it ends up with a 602, But I have no plans of running a 602 as of this point.
Okay. Yeah, I was seeing, even my mind almost got changed today on whether or not I was going to run one because I seen a pretty good deal on a motor. It was a 604 crate with fuel pump and distributor and all that, and it was going for $3,000. It's like, oh, damn. Like, as much as I don't want the no talent motor in my car, and I can't stand it, it's even tattooed on my arm. Most of everybody knows. I mean, if you run across a good deal and certain things happen, you can't. I can't blame you for doing it. As much as it makes me want to vomit saying that.
Right. Well, you know, and the bolt-on stuff that has to be bolted onto that crate motor, you know, that stuff ain't cheap.
No.
You know, you want to be competitive in a crate motor. I mean, you better have a decent carburetor. I don't know all the numbers and the facts, so I can't tell you what you run. I can't tell you what I've read and all that. But, you know, they run some high dollar carburetors, and you know they're dynoed, and you know they put a lot of money into them.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, the motor itself, you know, is pretty cheap, pretty reasonable, but it's all that bolt-on shit. Right now, all my bolt-on shit for an open motor. So
yeah,
you know that's where we're headed, and probably going to stay that way if I have anything to say about it. But like I said, situation and circumstances change.
Yeah, it can definitely be a bitch that day that you realize, oh shit, I might actually have to run a crate motor. Like, that day ever happens to me, I promise you, everybody listening right now, I will wrap my car in anti-crate motor stuff. You can guarantee that my car will never pass tech on the first try.
Right.
So,
yeah.
all right, and well, I had a segue from the crate motor subject, damn it, but I guess we can move on past that. If it comes back to me, we'll get back to it. Now, as far as your sponsors, crewmen, family, people who got you there, who do you got to thank? Who do you got to shout out? I mean, I know everyone tries to name off all the people that helped. There's so many people that helped get these cars out. You can't possibly name them all unless you got them written in front of you. But who do you got to shout out?
Well, for the year that we have, I mean, there's been a lot of people, but the first person, you know, I got to shout out my fiance, Renee Holmes. I mean, she has backed me in this deal, and you know, she has did everything she can to make this thing happen for me, and you know, she really supports me. You know, Bill at Advantage Towing and Race Car Parts, you know, he trailer and you know parts from him. Chase Hansen over at Hooked Up Performance. I mean, his advice and his parts. You know, like I said, there's a lot of people that have, you know, helped get this car to the track. Big Bubba's Trailers, you know, they helped me with the trailer. You know, it's just, I mean, you working in 98-degree heat when I brought up a 3/4 done car to get it ready, and
yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot, you know, the Wrights Racing, I mean, they did a lot at the beginning to build the car to get it to this point. You know, so it's, you know, there's been a lot of people, you know, David Travers out of Tooele, he comes and works on it, you know, Kevin Kelson out of Sandy, he's helped with it. Mike Wilson out of Swan Valley, he's came down and worked on it. I mean, Todd Alonso, he's come over and looked at it and worked and, you know, gave advice. And there's just a ton of people that have helped get this car going and keep it going. You know, so, you know, I mean, I can't name them all probably because, I mean, no, I'm missing some of them, but, you know, everybody that's had a hand in this, and there's been a lot of hands in it. But, you know, we plan on running it strong and finishing the season, and, you know, we don't know how yet, but we're going to figure that out. And so if anybody wants to come on board as a sponsor or lend a hand, we can use all the help we can get. You can look me up on Facebook at Gordon Kelson Sr. or my racing page at Gordon Kelson Sr. 7K. Or if you have yet to track, stop by, say hi. You know, so.
Okay. Oh, cool. Now, any final thoughts as we draw to a close on our show? Any final thoughts? Anything you want to get off your chest? Or anything like that?
Yeah, I hope you're having me do the right shit to this car.
Oh, damn. Oh, just throw me under the bus. Damn.
right.
Oh, Lord.
You know, conversations we have and decisions we make, so I hope we made the right ones. And, like I said, Chase coming over and looking at it, analyzing it, Todd's coming over and looked at it, analyzed it. We got a couple of issues I got to work on, but I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to bring up something decent on the 10th.
Okay. Well, that's another thought that just popped in my head. This is something me and you discussed a few days ago, and why I don't understand. Yeah, we got so many different chassis manufacturers, motors, different setups, stuff like that. But something I've noticed with your car, like, yeah, the chassis manufacturer ain't really there anymore like it used to be. But it seems like every time we get advice, look something up from a chassis specialist or something like that, it's always different. There's never the same thing. And I think that is so damn confusing. It's like, which way are we supposed to go with this when there's 3 or 4 different things to say which way to do something?
Right, exactly. And that's the problem we have when we've been looking stuff up, because, there is not another chassis like this.
Yeah.
This is a one-of-a-kind, 20-year-old heavy, doesn't have a lot of twists, flex built into it. I mean, so, there is no, we have the old paperwork off the sister car to this, but we don't have zero data for this car other than what we've collected. So,
and I destroyed that sister car.
yeah, I think we're doing good with it. I'm finally getting comfortable in the seat. It's finally getting a little bit faster. We just need to work on a few little problems we're having, and I think we've found a couple of them. So I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah. That car over the weekend, it wasn't, over the last race, it wasn't the fastest Friday night, but it showed life. Then Saturday, it really showed some life. I mean, you weren't in the way. You were mid-pack when the crash happened. So there's improvements, just chasing the same fucking thing with that bullshit car. And I'm mad at that car because I'm going to talk shit on it because I spent 2 days in a row in 90-degree heat trying to figure that motherfucker out. So fuck that car right now until I decide otherwise.
Right.
It's the same issue we chased all goddamn season. That motherfucker won't come off the corner.
It won't. Yeah, 2 and 4, and I don't know why. I try to come off the same way sometimes, or I'll change my line sometimes, or I'll, change the throttle, the brake, whatever. Just change a bunch of different things, and it just all of a sudden it's sideways, and there ain't a damn thing. No notice, no nothing. It's just gone. So hopefully we got that figured out.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, fuck, we've pretty well. I mean, I might actually buy a kitchen sink and throw it at the goddamn thing at this point, but
Right. Well, I was looking for one the other day because I was looking at it thinking, I've done everything this month off but throw the kitchen sink at it. The only thing we haven't changed is the drivetrain and the driver. So
the driver is improving for sure.
Each time.
The car is letting you down now, and we'll get it figured out for sure. And it ain't nothing more frustrating than when you're going down the track and you're going through a corner, you think everything's fine, and the next thing you know, you're looking at everybody who's behind you.
Right? with no warning, no notice.
Yeah.
And after just rolling through that corner the same exact way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as hard, but I don't know. But we'll get to the bottom of it.
All right. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Right.
So, but I think we're going to go ahead and call it good for today. I thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being a part of this. I'm thinking thank all of you who turned in to watch and listen. I'm trying to do something with this show. Sorry I've missed the past 2 weeks on the episodes, but we're going to get it figured out. We're going to get it round up and get her done. Thanks for the support. Thank you for being on the show. Look forward to seeing you.
Can I add one more thing?
Absolutely.
I mean, we got the All-Star balloting going on right now, so
Oh yes.
don't forget to vote every day for Chase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and our other local drivers, Casey. You know, just make your vote. Good luck to all of them, and you know, well, we'll see. Hopefully, see everybody on the 10th.
That's right. All righty. Well, thank you for coming on the show, and you know, it was a great interview, and I'll let you go ahead and get back to your car.